Chapter 46, 12 Deprogramming Statements. 1. I am black. 2. The original gods are black men and women. 3. I am a descendant of the original gods. 4. My ancestors are the creators of the universe. They created the earth, the moon, and the stars. 5. They made the non-black races out of their recessive germ. 6. They gave the non-black races power to rule the earth for 6,000 years. 7. The non-black races forced my people into slavery to build their evil and immoral civilization. 8. Their time to rule the earth is now over. Their civilization will fall in my own lifetime. 9. My ancestors built magnificent cities. They built great pyramids and large temples that stood for thousands of years, with granite walls and marble floors decorated with silver and gold and precious gemstones. I, their descendant, will build more majestic cities for my people. 10. I am one of the 144,000 Black people who will be the new rulers of the earth. 11. We'll make the non-Black races our servants. We'll instruct them on how to clean their physical and mental pollution and restore the earth's natural balance. 12. We'll start a new civilization based on good morality. We will rule the earth with a clear mind and a good heart, according to the natural laws of the original gods. Summary instructions of how to do the first stage. 7 exercises and 7 recalls. Pick a time in the evening between 6 p.m. and midnight. Do a conscious observation of your activities and surroundings for 15 to 30 minutes. Write down your observation later that same night just before going to sleep. Note the date and time. Do the second exercise 3 days later. Repeat every 3 days until the 7th exercise. 3 days after the 7th exercise, do a recall of exercise 7. Write down as much as you remember about that exercise. Remind yourself of each exercise by reading the first line or two of what you wrote. 3 days later, do a recall of exercise 6. Repeat every 3 days, going backwards until exercise 1. Take a 1 or 2 week break. During this break, set aside 7 consecutive nights to read the 12 deprogramming statements. Read all 12 every night for 7 nights straight without missing a night. After the break, start exercise 8, the second stage. The second stage of lesson 1, exercises 8 to 14. In the first stage, we ideally did 1 exercise every 3 days in the evening. In the second stage, we'll do 1 exercise every 2 days for about 2 weeks, followed by 1 recall every 2 days for another 2 weeks. The observations will take place in the afternoon between 12 noon and 6 p.m. Each observation will last 15 to 30 minutes as before. Note the starting and ending times of your conscious observation as you did before. Write it down within about an hour of bedtime as usual. These 2 conditions will guarantee you maximum benefit from the exercises. So do 1 exercise every 2 days. For example, if exercise 8 was done on Monday, then exercise 9 will be on Wednesday. Do it in the afternoon and write it down later that night, just before going to sleep. Other than a change of rhythm from 3 days to 2 days and change of time from night to day, everything is the same as the first 7 exercises. Recalls 14 through 8. The recalls begin 2 days after exercise 14. Do 1 recall every 2 days, starting with exercise 14 and go backwards to exercise 8. The recalls can be done at any time of the day or night that is convenient. After recall 8, take a 7 to 10 day break. The third stage of lesson 1, exercises 15 to 21. Stage 3 will start after the 7 to 10 day break. Exercises 15 through 21 will be done every day in the morning between when you wake up and 12 noon for 7 days in a row for 15 to 30 minutes as usual. So set aside a 15 to 30 minute period between sunrise and 12 noon and do a conscious observation. Write it down later that night. Repeat every morning for 7 days. After completing exercise 21, start the recalls the following day. Start with exercise 21 and go back to exercise 15. Recall 1 exercise a day for 7 days. Then take a 7 to 10 day break. This completes lesson 1. Review of lesson 1. During the 7 to 10 break, set aside 3 days in which to do a comprehensive review of all the 21 exercises of lesson 1. You'll need 1 hour of quiet, undisturbed time each of the 3 days. The 3 days don't have to be consecutive. You can spread them out over the 10-day period. First day of review. Set aside 1 hour of quiet, undisturbed time to review observations 21 through 15. Take 3 to 7 minutes to review each observation. Start with number 21, followed by number 20, then 19, and so on to 15. The review will be done in the following way. Find a comfortable place where you can sit undisturbed for up to 1 hour. Read the first few lines of exercise 21 to get you started. Then mentally go over observation 21 in as much detail as you can remember. Do not write. Review only in your mind. In your imagination, see yourself reliving that time period exactly as you experienced it during the actual observation. Let the images of that time gently enter your mind. Spend only 3 to 7 minutes reliving, then rest for 1 minute and go on to the next one. Read the first few lines of exercise 20, then relive it for 3 to 7 minutes the same way, then rest for another minute. Repeat with observation 19, 18, 17, 16, and 15. Second and third day of review. Pick a second day and set aside 1 hour as before and do number 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, and 8 in that order, resting for a minute in between. Do the same on the third day for observations 7 through 1. Either sit in front of your computer with all your observations where you can easily read them, or make a printout and sit at a comfortable place with the printout or notebook in hand. When you start each review, read the first few lines, reminder, and try to complete the review. If the memories do not come in a few seconds, don't waste time. Read the entire observation and then do the reliving. You'll notice that the most recent observations are the easiest to remember, and you can probably do all of them just by reading the reminder. But the older ones are harder. Even so, you'll notice that among the older ones, there are some that made a strong impression on your memory. Review those using only the reminder. For the rest that are harder to remember, go ahead and read the original observation first, then do the review. When you do the reliving, imagine that you are back at that time, reliving the experience. Use your imagination to recall as many details as you can. Don't spend more than 7 minutes on each one. Rest for 1 minute, then go on to the next one. It's important to go through the process exactly as I've described it. The purpose at this early stage is to open the gates of your memories so you can go back in time consciously and in complete control.